Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first Lions Pride we've done in a while. Took time off basketball, and that, of course, is why we're here today to talk about basketball. Mike Bono, we talked back in the fall about how this season could be special, and it has been.
It has been. We've had a great year. Glad that we're still playing. It's not over yet. We're in the postseason, but yeah, it's been a wonderful year. This has been a great group of girls to coach. We were young, inexperienced, and they grew up quick. As you know, you've seen a lot of our games. We've had some games where we went at halftime and it looked kind of bleak.
Yeah.
But they've got a special character about them, and they're a hard team to knock out. And we've had a lot of games where they've come out the second half and just were determined that they weren't going to lose. And that's a credit to them. I had a lot of people ask me, well, what did you tell them at halftime? Not a whole lot different than what I told them before the game. Maybe a few reminders. And I tell people all the time, and I heard this the other day, and I kind of like that. Coaching now is a little different. It used to be when I first started coaching, you would just kind of tell people what to do.
Yeah.
They believe you and they do it. Now I just kind of make suggestions. And this group here, they listen. They filter the suggestions out that I give them, and it's made it a lot of fun. When you get to the end of the year and you win a big championship game on your home floor, it's a good feeling. And now, we talked yesterday in practice about, okay, now regular season's over. Let's see how far we can keep winning that last game. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Let's talk about the next game, then we'll go back and talk about Belmont Abbey a little bit. So when do you play?
Play Monday at home. By virtue of being number one seed, we'll play a home game. In our conference, the top four seeds play I don't want to say the bottom four seeds, but the lower four teams at their home floor, and then whoever is the highest seed remaining will host the Final Four, which will start on Thursday, and then the finals will actually be on Saturday. So our game is with North Greenville here Monday at 5:30.
So two plays, one plays 4, one plays 8.
One plays 8, and then on down, 2 plays
Yeah.
7, and it's based on the seeds how you finished. We actually were co-champions with Barton since we were fortunate enough to beat Barton twice. That just gave us the number 1 seed, and then the number 2 seed.
And so if you win on Monday, then you got a chance to play 2 more home games.
Yep, it's very possible. We're not projecting ahead.
No.
One of the things I learned, one of the things about doing this as long as I have, you learn not to project too far down the road. In fact, this season, that's kind of what we did. It's been 4 or 5 weeks ago. I gave them a saying, and I put it up on the board, and I've repeated it over and over again. And I tell them 1 step, 1 day, 1 game at a time. So that's kind of the way we've been approaching it. 1 step, 1 day, 1 game at a time. And so I've repeated that to them yesterday to make sure they were aware of that. So yeah, we're happy to be in postseason. It being our first year to be able to play in Conference Carolinas and be co-champions and actually get a home game is really exciting. We just want to try to keep that excitement going a little bit longer.
All right, you took 2 from North Greenville during the season. What problem did you expect from them on Monday?
We actually split with them.
Okay.
Over there, we had a really close game. They actually won on a buzzer shot at the end of the game, and then we won at home. They're a good team. They fairly balanced. They've got a couple of kids that are really good players that you really have to guard. play good defense. You know, that's going to be a battle. Last year, I noticed in our conference tournament, we weren't involved with it. Last year in the conference tournament, I think the number 1 and 2 seeds got beat, and they ended up hosting the tournament. I think at the number 3 seeded team. So we're not taking anybody lightly. We haven't done that all year. I mean, that's not going to happen for us. Both of us going to be playing, and somebody's going to keep playing, and somebody's going to stop. And that's kind of the way we're going to approach it. I told the kids the other day, I know what the score of the game is going to be before it starts. It's going to be 0-0.
Yeah.
Everything's level right there. So we're going to practice really hard like we have been, try to have great practices, and hopefully come in here Monday night as prepared as we need to be.
We talked about the fact that your team has come back in the second half several times this season, and that shows some character. But on Tuesday night against Belmont, you got out to a big lead, lost that lead, and came back. And that might take more character.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't try to figure it out. I look at coaching a lot like problem solving, because every situation can be a little bit different. I don't ever want to say, well, they're a second half team or they played good in the first quarter. I mean, it's just going to vary, and it really varies with who your opponent is and how you're playing that night. I didn't think we played poorly in the third quarter. We just didn't shoot the ball very well. And when you don't shoot the ball very well against a good team, then you're gonna give them opportunities to make a run at you. And you know, that wasn't anything different. I mean, we talked about it. We said that particular game is going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to go all around, and you just got to keep battling. And we want to be standing at the end. And that's what that's been our goal all year. And our kids have pretty much responded to that. They don't expect gifts from anybody. They know that every time they go out for 40 minutes, we're going to have to battle. And we could be hitting shots, and we might not be hitting shots, and they might hit a few shots. But as long as there's time on the clock, we just got to keep battling.
This team looked like they handled the nerve situation pretty well against Belmont, coming out with a big lead. So going into the tournament, does that make you feel a little better?
Yeah. We've had so many close games. If you look back, almost every one of our games has been close. We've won a bunch of those.
Mm-hmm.
We lost a couple of them early. We talked about the North Greenville game.
Yeah.
And we had one at Mount Olive. We had one with Limestone here. That was a game we lost at home. You know, you kind of ask yourself, when you lose a couple of those early, are you going to learn so you don't, are we doing something wrong at certain times? Well, we talked about a lot of those situations and tried to prepare better. I think mainly the crew, this particular crew is just decided when we go out to play, we don't have any expectations other than we have 40 minutes of a battle ahead of us. And they've pretty much taken that and went with it. I mean, the other night after the third quarter, when we had a big lead and Belmont Abbey had come back, I mean, that's what we talked about at the end of the third quarter. We said that this was going to be a battle for 40 minutes. Nobody said that anybody was going to get a tremendous advantage one way or the other. We got another fourth quarter left. Let's finish it the way we're supposed to and keep battling, and they did.
Well, 21 wins going into the tournament. Did anything surprise you about this team this season?
I thought we could be pretty good early. I didn't know how long it would take us to try to fit all the pieces together. I thought we would be good defensively early. Offensively, you know, we had a couple of new players, Brianna Locke being one of them, Lexi being one of them. You know, I didn't know how we would fit all of those pieces together. And then in January, it looked like things started to come together for us on the offensive end, and then on the defensive end as well. Our depth, people coming in the game at times were really giving us a lift, and we could count on that. And they developed confidence from that. And I think now our kids believe that whether they're on the bench coming in the game or whether they're starting, that they can count on those kids coming in the game to give us a lift at different times during the game. So, was there a certain time? I think probably that second week of January in practice and some of the games we were playing, we seemed to be able to handle some of the closer games better, defensively and offensively, and then it kind of got us on a little bit of a roll. And I think that would be the answer. After Christmas, they just looked like, hey, you know, we got a chance to be a really good team. And like I said, they were just taking one game at a time. We didn't have a certain type of medicine that was going to say, hey, we're going to finish and win the conference. We never really even talked about it. We wanted to try to finish in the top 4 so we could get a home game. And then lo and behold, we kept improving and got on a roll, and this is where we're at now.
All right, again on Monday, 5:30 against North Greenville. Monday's my birthday, so you know what I want for a present.
Well, since that's the case, I'll make sure I share that with our girls, and I'm sure they get really excited about that.
I'm sure they will. All right, we'll see you then. We'll be on there right at 5:30 or so on the website, and good luck, and let's start a new winning streak.
Thank you, Danny.
All right, Coach Mike Bonner.